I want to describe for you how to use the plein air hanging template spreadsheet. The purpose of the sheet is simply to give the dimensions of the placement of the nails for hanging paintings on the 7-foot tall by 4-foot wide panels for Olmstead Plein Air. It uses the input of the dimensions of the paintings and the location of the height of the wire to the top of the painting, that dimension. It uses those to assess the sizes of the panels and where they go and how they're centered on the wall. So anyhow, so that's all it is. The input comes on a sheet like this. People measure these 3 paintings and measure the height, the width, and then the wire from the top, which on the back of the painting, when they pull the wire up like this, they measure the distance between here and the top of the painting. And that gives me all the information we need to know on where those nails should go in relationship to the size of the painting. So that's what what comes into the person with a spreadsheet. That is exactly input right up in this box here. And when that happens, all these dimensions will populate down here. So to start, when the person who's putting the nails on the wall, or marking the nails, first what we do is we just mark the nails, and then someone else comes by and actually puts them in. That keeps the momentum going on trying to get everything marked as fast as possible. So the person marking the nail holes will do it in pencil, and we'll start with A and then go logically from B to C. The A nail placement is very easy. This is, by the way, this is the output. These kind of beige boxes are really all the person with a spreadsheet needs to read out to the person marking the wall. The person with a spreadsheet needs to kind of think ahead of the person on the wall and call out those dimensions as that person is running tape measures and whatever. So there's a coordination between the two people that needs to kind of come about. Just for the logic of it, the top nail placement will always be centered. So that does not, as a dimension that doesn't need to be called out. So the only thing on the first nail will be the height from the top of the panel, which is this 7 in this particular case. So the person with the spreadsheet would just call out 7 inches when the marker gets to the new panel, just says 7 inches down, and the marker will know exactly where that little X should be placed on the wall. The complication comes in B and C, and the reason for that is that depending on the width of these 2 panels or these 2 paintings, they may not fit well on the width of the 48-inch width of our hanging panel. So there are formulas built in to the input box up here that warn the person running the spreadsheet that we may have to think of an alternative solution to the hanging. And let me show you how that works. If this painting here goes to half of the width, say we change this to 24 inches, and then we get down here and let's change, so that this painting here will be 24 inches wide. And then here, if we say put a 22-inch painting next to it, that gets very tight. You let less than an inch in between, and you'll see that the boxes go yellow, and this is indicating how much space there is between everything. Less than 3/4 of an inch between them. that may not even, that it may be that it's possible to hang those paintings, but they just doesn't look right. So anyhow, so this is an alert to the person inputting, and when that happens, the first thing to do is tell the marker that we may have to rethink these. We're tight, and so then the marker might come back, or whoever's leading this, take a look and say, okay, I think looking at the actual paintings, say, you know, let's do it this way instead. So that's a little bit of a judgment call. If it gets to be where they're actually won't fit, say this one is 25 inches, then that's a definite not fit, and you get these warnings here. It says BC are too wide, use option 2. So it reads everything out, and you do have a real clear alert. This isn't going to work on our default layout. So what you do is you go down to option 2, and what we're doing here is simply stacking them. And so this would be the way to set the nails there. So that makes it pretty easy. The only thing that the marker needs to know are these dimensions from the top, because everything will be centered. So the main thing is to alert that this is the situation. What happens is, and we found happening before, is that sometimes, now it's probably, in the past we've had spreadsheets that weren't quite so clear when these problems came up, and the person actually hanging, the nails are set, and the person starts hanging and realizes this isn't going to work, or something's goofy here. And then we've had to go in and change B and C. For that reason, if the wall is already hung and the A painting is already up there, and then we realize that it's not going to work with the B painting, and we have to then remark for the nails, this painting will stay hung, the A one, and I'll have to measure from the floor. It's hard to measure down from the top across an existing painting. So in addition to this standard marking from the top, I've indicated other information here saying that if you want to just measure down for the next nail from the bottom of the upper painting, then you can use this dimension here. This is 3 3/4 inches from the painting A, or it's 59 1/4 from the floor. So that allows, we take these off, and we're remeasuring the bottom 2 nails, so we would be best to do that from the floor up. Anyhow, so this allows alternative ways of measuring for all these other numbers here. All the information on the right here, these gaps, top gap and the gaps in between, are almost like feedback, although we can change that. If we say, listen, it doesn't look right having a 2-inch gap here, we got to make them even tighter, then we can change this to, say, 1 in both these, and that'll move the spacing of the paintings, and these paintings move up a little tighter. So that just gives us some options later on. But anyhow, so this is the way it works, and will be, you know, what the person with a spreadsheet kind of needs to be waiting for or watching for, and then just, you know, taking the appropriate action. When you have all the little tickets come in, you want to clear these and start again. We don't even have the panel number here. We just input it and move on. It's only one page here to the spreadsheet. So to quickly get to the next panel, you can just push this button here, and it just clears all the data in this box here.